Entering the next level. Entering the next level. Entering the next level. Entering the next level. Outer space. Outer space. Back from outer space. Outer space.
Okay, welcome along to, of course, episode number 18. We've got this right this time here. This show was originally going to be actually broadcast on the time of 3 o'clock, but of course we decided to knock it forward a little bit because, of course, I had to make a few little bit of changes here. This is Community News with Nick C. Welcome along here for your Sunday evening here. And the strap line is down below. Basically, what that means is a kind of saying for the show, which is more we notice, more we find. So a very, very warm welcome to the show here. I am Nick C, a stage name, of course, that you might be familiar with. And of course, I'd just like to say to everyone that spots me, especially in the Haven, Suffolk area, a massive wave to you as well. And a shout out to the Haven Caravan site of course, Haven Hopton Holiday Village, which is situated at Hopton-on-Sea near Great Yarmouth. In actual fact, in Great Yarmouth. Well, they call it as part of Great Yarmouth because it's literally next to Galston, and then further afield is Great Yarmouth. You can literally see Galston from Hopton-on-Sea. And somebody might be hopping along at some point. But yeah, today in the show, we're going to be talking about, of course, the wildlife kind of events that are happening here according to the leaflet that I've got here. I've actually been able to pick up, of course, some leaflets, of course, in Hopton when I was there. And I'll talk about my experience of my Hopton time. And there'll be a video coming up exclusively live on the air, a little bit of some of the unseen footage that maybe you haven't seen on the channel yet. And we will do some words for today as it is Sunday. And this show will be probably a regular feature at some point on a Sunday. We haven't confirmed the exact time it's going to be, so it can vary. A bit like Songs of Praise. Sometimes it's at 3 o'clock, sometimes it's at 1 o'clock. Which we just noticed here today. So anyway, of course, welcome along to the program. We are looking for guests, and we're looking for a sponsorship as well. So if you know someone that's interested in sponsoring whatever it is they want to sponsor, and we can give it a little bit of a mention on the program. So, yeah, for only £5 a month, of course, for maybe a 3-month contract, you can actually get a really good cheap deal for that. If you're watching on the captions, which hopefully YouTube will detect, then, of course, welcome to the captions, otherwise known as subtitles. All you need to do is put them on the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side so you can hear every word that I'm sort of saying, even if I say the F word. Now, I won't be using that extreme language, but if you're watching on replay, we always, as you know, appreciate it. And I do hope that, of course, this live stream goes around everywhere possible. So keep spreading the word. It's not easy to get the views, but of course, yeah, it's not easy to notify people that we are live. That's the problem with this YouTube thing these days. Not everybody spots you on here, but mostly people spot you on the replay. So, of course, yeah, it should give you a notification button or bell, so it notifies you that we are live. And I don't think people are getting the notification. So that is the problem, isn't it? When people don't get the notification, it can cause a problem, and people are not able to view him, even watching. But of course, we appreciate new people coming to tune into us, which is fantastic, fantastic news. And keep spreading the word and keep helping support the channel here, which is an independent, uncensored type of channel in a community sense. So we hope to carry on promoting the community for you. So wherever you're watching, we really do appreciate your time and effort to watch this afternoon. The show hopefully is supported by you. We will be doing hopefully some merchandise at some point, starting with mugs and all that kind of thing. We might do a different kind of logo mug each time. So I am promoting this everywhere possible. So thank you very much indeed for those people who are tuning in here. Please come and leave us a comment if you wish to do so. And of course, yeah, come and get involved if you can. So we're going to go to this video here, which, of course, some of which I actually filmed in the caravan itself, caravan number 2. It was a bit of a walk from the actual village, so we had to walk up once we got off the bus at the Turnstone pub, which we had to, of course, stop off at, and we had a lot of luggage with us as well. And the nightmare scenario was that we had to wait for several buses because we couldn't get on with our luggage returning. But eventually we did, and I'm so thankful to God that we did. And we've been talking about some God word for today. Yeah, that's word for today from United Christian Broadcasters, which is a magazine dotted around the UK, based in Stoke-on-Trent. Right, we're going to go to this video here, and of course it is an exclusive video that I attempted to walk down to the beach very, very slowly, as you could have imagined. Coming from my bedroom here, you can actually have a look around if you really want to. That's my window. It is actually currently open at the moment. Of course, that's the equipment I've got on my bed and a little bit behind the scenes here. So what we will say is that's my cupboard. It looks very similar to another room, which I'll probably showcase at some point, hopefully on another video. I've even got a mirror here, you can clearly see there, and that's the light switch. And that's my microphone that I'm going to be using to talk to you lot. And of course I've got my normal plugs plugged in. Okay, I should actually switch that one on, but I always put the plug in first before I switch the plug in. You got cramp. Someone's got cramp. But yeah, so my electrical setup is very sort of basic. I always put the computer plug in because it makes a spark, you know, each time I put it in, without, of course, switching it on that sort of button here. And you've got this button here, you can see in close-up mode here, you've got 2 switches for each plug there, and you've got a USB one there. I won't touch my finger through any of that because I probably could get electric shock. But yeah, you can see the USB is on that one, and probably your sort of iPhone charger can probably go in there if you've got another iPhone that will fit in there, and then of course the smaller version of the iPhone, or maybe a Samsung A12, not quite sure. But I've actually got several plugs here. I'm actually charging up my battery pack here, and that's my USB microphone. I know I got a bit of tape on it because, you know, it was falling apart, but it does the trick and the work that I want it to do, speaking through this USB microphone. You might be picking up sounds of outside, which is the wind, which is basically what you're hearing. So that's the end of the behind the scenes picture there, and yeah, have a look at some of the pictures that I have created just primarily at this place of Hopton-on-Village, the Haven Park, that I have never got disappointed about in terms of staff, and of course the energy, and just brilliant. It's very quiet in some places, but of course you can't complain. Well, no, of course you might complain about the price of some things, like a portion of chips for £3.99, but never mind that. We're now going to go straight to the beach first of Hopton Beach, which is a private beach attached to the Haven Caravan Park of Hopton-on-Sea Village.
Richard, would you say hello to Jeanette? Jeanette, would you say hello to Sean? Sean, would you say hello to Jeanette? And Richard, off you go, do it now, please, thank you.
Look at this sort of pathway to lead down to the actual beach itself. Good job, there's a handrail there for safety reasons. It's quite obvious why that is in place there. Literally, you can get down to the beach this way. This goes further on down the other side of the beach. It probably stretches right way through to Lowestoft, that sort of way. But yeah, Hopton itself. And it probably tells you about the tide times as well. And it tells you probably, hopefully, where you are. And it's got the health and safety procedures here. Beware of fast moving tides, beware of uneven surface, beware of unstable cliff edge, do not use inflatables, do not climb the rocks. Quite obvious health and safety there. So this is pretty much where we are. We are probably around this area, although it's not really marked. Okay, caution, there's no lifeguard service over here. Probably costs too much money. You can see in the distance, of course, I think that's Galston Beach over there in the far distance. I'm quite sure it is. to add myself to the screen. I'm on a small screen at the moment. Let's make it bigger there. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's have a look. So, of course, maybe another video here. Let's have a look. See if we can get something on this one. I'm going to have to try and... Oh, it's upside down there. I'm trying to skip through here.
Sorry about any wind that you might experience. I'm walking
There
down
you go.
slowly.
Of course, that's of course
can't.
we're trying to go down the slope here very, very slowly and very, very wisely. And take extra caution whilst going down here, by the way, because you know you have to go very, very slowly because there's no
Somebody says
rail.
it's enjoyable walking up here.
Exclusive
Must be
pictures here.
strange.
Let's have
Those who can't do it, but those who can, good for them. Just have to be very careful down here. That's why you have to go slowly. Am I going to risk that? I'm not sure if I can go down there, but oh right, I'm gonna have to hold on here. But I've got to walk up those steps in a minute and take extra care. Just make the most of this. Oh, there you are. Hello. Come on down. Do not climb the locks. The locks? What am I talking about? The rocks. Do not climb the rocks.
says on that sign down there. Nearly there. What are you saying? What are you saying? That's my partner up there laughing at me. Somebody's left something there. Don't know what that is. That's probably washed up from the sea. These rocks have been put here there to stop the sea flushing across the park here. You can see why that is. Get it? See why that is? You can't swim in it. Look at these waves. All organised by the moon. Just even listening to the sea air is just beautiful. Listening to the sea air, you can't listen to the sea air, but what you can do is listen to the sea itself and get that feeling of sea air. This is probably sand that's been washed up. You can't really make sandcastles around this part. I wonder if it's the Hook of Holland down in that direction. So this is live as we go here. Now I've got to get up here. Hello. She's videoing me. Is this going on TikTok? Or wherever? I've got to get up here. Sorry. It's full of sand.
We're filming it. We're filming each other as Americans.
Yeah. Up we go. It's not too bad as I thought. Make the most.
We're filming each other.
No, but I was videoing myself going down there to prove it. But be careful when walking down it if you ever do. For anyone watching at home, yeah? Because you could easily slip. That's why I was going down slowly. I've already filmed that bit. Up we go. Good job we got these rails. It's not too bad because you've got the sand on here to make it smoother. Wish people could put sand on steps a lot now because it's a lot smoother. Still going up slowly.
Hannah 1, 2, 3. Hannah 1, 2, 3.
I can't dance. I'm too old for that.
You got that on film as well.
Lucky I haven't got a walking stick. Ah, I know what this path is. It's the Norfolk Coast Path. Says it on there. Although it doesn't show very much on here. It is the Norfolk Coast Path down in that direction. Got to be added to the stage here. Oh, you can see me now. And half of me and half of something else there. I wonder what I can put there. But, of course, let's make it go back into a normal screen now. But anyway, of course, I'd like to say a huge welcome to the program here. 26 minutes gone on the clock here on this program here. And the show pretty much has already started. So, yeah, let's talk you through, of course, some other community aspects here. And don't forget, of course, the Fellowship Men's Group, which is the Saffron Walden Jubilee Hub, takes place every Wednesdays from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. Get yourself down to Saffron Walden, the Jubilee Hub, next to the Jubilee Gardens, next to the High Street of Saffron Walden in Cambridge, or near Cambridge. Okay. And now I'm going to be talking about the Wildlife Norfolk Wildlife Trust. From October the 2025, which is the 2025, to January 2026. Events, workshops, walks, talks, and art. And more events online if you scan this QR code just here. All right, okay. So, of course, we are looking for guests that would like to be on the show here, talking about their situation, or whatever that situation may be. Of course, there are wilder communities workshops, which are designed to support individuals, communities, and groups acting for nature in their local area, subsidized by donations generously made to the NWT, National Wild Trust. There is something for everyone to learn and enjoy. All workshops, can be booked up via the website. A booking fee may apply. norfolkwildlifetrust.org.uk/wilder communities. And this is taking place here. Obviously, these dates are subject to change into the future if you're watching this show in the future. Pond condition assessment and management planning. Thursday, the 23rd of October 2025 at 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. How do you decide if a pond is in good ecological condition or if it needs restoration to enhance its value for wildlife? If a site has several ponds, how would you prioritize which to restore and which to leave? In this hands-on workshop, you'll learn a simple framework for surveying pond condition, how to prioritize between different ponds, and how to create a pond management plan. The event will include an indoor session and a visit to a county wildlife site to survey a number of ponds. So that's what you will be included. This event will include, of course, an indoor session and a visit to the county wildlife site to survey a number of ponds at the Brecon Ash Village Hall, NR14 8EL, £7 for that one. Raising your project's profile in the media, Tuesday, the 11th of November 2025, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. Learn more about how to work with local media to raise awareness of your wildlife project or group. During this online presentation is the right word, you'll learn how to use the media to share your stories with key audiences and explore the what, when, who, and why of pitching to media outlets, online and free. Okay, how to get the best outcomes for wildlife from planning decisions where you live. This is again online, of course, and is free. Wednesday, the 10th of December, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. And join Sarah Eglington, Planning and Advocacy Advisor, for some of the top tips on how to get the best outcomes for wildlife from planning decisions in your community. Again, it's online and free of charge. Okay, let's talk more about the talks, walks, and workshops. Okay, and it's easy to book a place on one of their walks, talks, and workshops simply by visiting norfolkwildlifetrust.org.uk/what's on and search for your event. Booking fee will apply. That's the NWT, which is Norfolk Wildlife Trust Thorpe Marshes Guided Walk, which takes place on Thursday, the 2nd of October, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and local naturalist Chris Durlin, or actually Durdin is pronounced, Chris Durdin, for the meander and exploring the wildlife of Thorpe Marshes. That's Chris Durdin, the naturalist, as in a local naturalist, Chris Durdin, for meander of and exploring the wildlife of Thorpe Marshes. Okay, it's the NWT Thorpe Marshes, and it is a free event. The Nature of Grief Writing Workshop takes place on the 4th of November on a Tuesday between the time of 10:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. Writer James McDermott will share tools and techniques to help you write poetry, exploring the nature of and how to live with grief, including the loss of elements of the natural world. NWT Clay Marshes and NWT members are £45 and non-members is £50. And Willow Weaving Workshop, 10 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. And that's on Saturday, the 6th of December 2025. Learn how to weave willow into festive reindeer designs, perfect for the garden. Whether you are a beginner or, of course, experience or have experience working with willow, you'll create a beautiful bespoke sculpture. So, yeah, it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or just have experience working with willow. So, NWT Clay Marshes and NWT members are £55 for that. Non-members is £60. And of course, Boxing Day Stroll on Friday, the 26th of December 2025. If you can get there, that's 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Join us for a refreshing amble around the reserve on this festive day, taking in wildlife along the Shingle Ridge. And that's NWT Clay Marshes. NWT members £4.50 and non-members is £6.50. And don't miss, of course, the introduction to wildlife photography on Saturday, the 4th of October 2025, and that's 10:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. And an introduction to wildlife photography with Vince Burton, using the hides and subjects of this very special nature reserve. Learn fieldcraft, camera settings, and various techniques, taking inspiration from the fantastic local wildlife. NWT Clay Marshes and then NWT members for £30 and non-members is £35. So that's the workshops in that sort of aspect there. And of course, yeah, also all of these are clay marshes here. And the last slender build curlew, which of course illustrates the birds here if you're interested to know your wildlife here. So yeah, Thursday, 6th of November 2025, of course, 1 p.m. till 2:30 p.m. Here, the fascinating story of RSPB photographer Chris Gormasul's quest to photograph the last slender-billed curlew during his assessment to Morocco. NWT Clay Marshes, NWT members of £10 and non-members are £12. And the pink-footed geese Winterbird Workshop, Saturday 15th of November 2025, 10:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. Learn how to recognise the birds visiting Norfolk in winter and where to go to experience them, including a session on identification and an afternoon walk. NT or NWT Clay Marshes and NWT members of £30 and non-members of £35. And finally, the Great Bustard, which is the Wildlife Photographer's Year, Thursday, the 18th of December 2025, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and take in inspiring journey with award-winning photographer Paul Alistair Collins, exploring UK wildlife through the seasons. And that's the NWT Clay Masters. NWT members for £10 and non-members are £12. And of course, on Thursday, the 4th of December, 1 o'clock till 2:30 p.m., join wildlife photographer and artist Gail Ashton in conversation with nature and wildlife enthusiast Charlie Bingham as she travels the length and breadth of the UK, searching for oyster catchers on rooftops and peregrines on the cathedral spires in her new book, The Life Affirming Magic of Birds. That's the WDT Clay Marshes, NWT, members of £10 and non-members of £12. That's the NWT Clay Marshes once again. Includes lunch on that one, so of course definitely worth checking out there. Discover more events on the website, which is of course going to book them online. norfolkwildlifetrust.org.uk/what's on. Okay, so if you want to book online, then go to that website or use the QR code, which is just literally down there. So, of course, welcome if you have just joined us here. Yeah, definitely, of course. Welcome to the channel here, and it is episode 18 of Community News with Nick C here. So, yeah, Winter Wildfowl Walk, of course, from Friday the 21st of November 2025. 10:15 a.m. to 1 p.m. Great skeins of geese and flocks of wigeon filling the sky. Discover what makes clay so special in the winter. Clay marshes once again. They're all clay marshes, by the way. And members are £4.50 and non-members are £6.50. And also, of course, the tails of birds, brecks and broads through the time. Friday, the 5th of December, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. 2025. This year, naturalist and medievalist Dr. Michael Warren, and of course, each heritage specialist of Tim Holt Wilson and NWT, which is North Wildlife Trust Ambassador Nick Asherson, explore the ancient landscapes and inhabitants of East Anglia in this fascinating talk. Members £12, non-members are £14, and learn to draw and paint landscapes. And that's Saturday 10:30 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. And that's on Saturday the 10th to Sunday the 11th of January 2025. And that's where you'll be joining, of course, respected artists of Steve Cale for a 2-day course learning basic landscape sketching, perspective, and landscape watercolor painting. And finally, of course, the Pete Pewits and Putty Chalk restoring High Fen on Thursday, the 15th of January 2025, 1 p.m. till 2:30 p.m. This talk from Nattergal, a nature restoration company, that's Nattergal, a nature restoration company, will follow the inspiring restoration of High Fen Wildland, a degraded peatland site in the Norfolk Fen. That's all happening at the Clay Marshes. Members £10 and non-members of £12. So yeah, there's lots to talk about here. The North Wildlife Trust Home Dunes. Okay, visit address is Woodwater Road, PE 366LQ. And what 3 words? Toasted.squirts.tolerable. And parking at the car park at the entrance, day ticket of £5. Opening times for the reserve is 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. or dusk if earlier, closed on Christmas Day. And the visitor centre is last Monday in October to the end of February, 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. and March to last Sunday in October, 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. and closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And the cafe closes half an hour before the centre. Entry fee, which is free for members, North Wildlife Trust, and non-members is £4.50, with gift aid £4 standard, and children are free. And the highlights of the home: join us for a child-friendly interactive walk through the special habitats of the nature reserve. We'll be carrying out scavenger hunts, handling with natural history collection, and making mini masterpieces as we explore the site and its wonderful wildlife. For Norfolk Wildlife Trust, which is members for £4 and non-members are £5. So that's on Tuesday, the 28th of October, 2025, 1:30 p.m. till 3 p.m. As I say, of course, you can book online for these events. And the website for this is norfolkwildlifetrust.org.uk/what's on. So, yeah, that's the way to, of course, book those kind of events. So, yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this show because it's gone so fun-packingly quick here. We will keep you up to date in what we are doing here. We are still making videos here. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to do so. If you'd like a Q&A questionnaire sort of time here, especially on YouTube, feel free to get in touch with us. And also, we are featured on TikTok for those people who have not yet discovered us on TikTok. There is a membership section there where we offer 7 days for free, and then after that you can decide to carry on with us. We really do appreciate your time with us. But yeah, we really do appreciate everything that happens to us with that. And we appreciate everybody's support as well at the same time. So, of course, yeah, our experience about Hopton, can you say the words? It feels like I'm hopping mad here. What I would say is everyone was fantastic, including the staff and that. Pity about the $3.99 packet of chips, which we had to share in the end. We did manage to get by. We got our own food. We mostly had beans on toast, and we had, of course, tuna pasta and blah, 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 blah. And the list went on, lasagnas and things like that we had for our self-catering in our caravan, which was caravan number 2. And there was a little bit of a walk to South Beach, and there was a little bit of a confusion there because, of course, South Beach sign was there, and there was the park where the kids play on the adventure famous park of the holiday park, and of course we had to walk through it to get to our caravan. So yeah, there was a little bit of a confusion of where our caravan was, and in the end we found it. But anyway, we got back up and kept going, which is what I'm going to read to you now. And of course, yes, I hope that you're going to enjoy it. Oh, sorry about the motorbike in the back. Have a look at we've got a connection problem there. I do apologise about that. So yeah, let's have a bit of course, ambient sound. Let's play that in the background whilst we're having. So you've got a little bit of background. Yeah. Right. Okay. I read this privately to my other half last night. So there is 2 sections of this. So it's the word for today now. Let's do this. Get back up and keep going. Number 1. Part number 1. All right. Okay. We get knocked down and we get up again and keep going. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania tells us that a key predator of success isn't talent, title, wealth, or good looks. It's the ability to work hard for a prolonged period of time towards a focused goal, to keep moving towards or forwards despite challenges, obstacles, and failures. Paul writes, "We are pressed on every side by troubles, but not crushed and broken. We are perplexed, but we don't know why things happen as they do. But we don't give up and quit. We are hunted down, but God never abandons us. We get knocked down, but we get up again and keep going." Here are some famous people who get knocked down but kept going. A memo issued after Fred Astaire's first screen test said, "Can't act, slightly bald, can dance a little." Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper editor for lack of ideas. He also went bankrupt several times before he built Disneyland. Albert Einstein didn't speak until he was 4 and didn't write until he was 7. His teacher described him as mentally slow, unsociable, and adrift forever in foolish dreams. W.F. Woolworth's employers at the dry goods store said he couldn't have enough sense to wait on customers. Winston Churchill failed at junior school. He didn't become Prime Minister of Great Britain until he was 66, after a lifetime of defeats and setbacks. He made his greatest contribution as a senior citizen. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. So when life knocks you down, get back up and keep going." So, yeah, get up or get back up and keep going. Number 2. Though I have fallen, I will rise. One author writes, "Grit is passion and perseverance for long-term goals. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You're not just running, but just getting hit along the way. Grit keeps you moving forward through the sting of rejection, pain of failure, and a struggle with adversity. When life knocks you down, you may want to stay down and give up, but grit won't let you quit. True grit starts with knowing what you truly want. When you know what you want and you can see it, you'll work hard and persevere to achieve it. True grit is also driven by clarity of mind, purpose, passion, optimism, faith, love, hope, and quite honestly, stubbornness. Knowing your why, refusing to give up, ignoring the critics, believing the possible, loving what you do, and showing up in day and day out keeps you on the path towards your vision. There is something inside each of us that wants to feel worthy and be someone of value. The truth is, not everyone will share your vision and believe in your project. But always remember that the circumstances around you and the opinions of others don't create or define you. Life is never created from the outside in. You create life from the inside out. The grit and the spirit you possess on the inside will create the life that you experience on the outside. If you have a vision, keep it alive. Remember your purpose. Show up every day and do the work. John Quincy Adams said, "Patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties disappear." So, stay on course and keep moving forwards, and you will succeed. All right, okay. We're going to go on to the next one here, which I didn't read yesterday. So here it is. Keep on going. Fixing your eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith. A Sunday school teacher was telling a story of Jonah disobeyed God, of how Jonah disobeyed God, and ended up being swallowed by the big fish. For 3 days he cried out from the depths of the ocean, and after 3 days and nights, God ordered the fish to spit him up on the beach. At the end of the session, the teacher asked the class what they had learned, and the little boy picked up, "It just goes to prove that you can't keep a good man down. You don't drown by falling into the water. You drown by staying there." David said, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down. For the Lord upholds him." When your dreams and plans get rained out, stay focused and run with perseverance. Winston Churchill said, "The nose of the building slants backward so that he can breathe in comfort without letting go." When you focus on something, you empower and give it momentum. That's why Satan wants you to concentrate on things that don't matter. Jesus looked beyond the cross. He focused on what lay on the other side of it. The Bible tells us to fix our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of faith. Remember, God doesn't pay by the week. He pays at the end. You'll be rewarded based on how you finished, not how you started. Paul says these troubles and sufferings won't last very long, yet result in God's richest blessings or blessing upon us forever. So stay focused and keep going. All right, okay. I'm going to read you one more here as it is Sunday here. In step with the Spirit. Let us keep in step with the Spirit. The Bible says, "Since we live by the Spirit, let us keep in step with the Spirit." Problems arise when you try to understand the spiritual things with your natural mind. Comparing spiritual things to natural things makes the things of God seem foolish. And Paul says, "The Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God. And he reveals them to us in different ways." Author John Walker says, "Becoming one with Jesus means developing spiritual discernment and accepting the sometimes seemingly illogical things that come from the Spirit. God speaks to us in various ways. Here are 3 to watch for. 1. Stop signs. These are red flags warning you not to go somewhere. A dog I once owned helped me to understand this. He was used to being on a leash, and when I would take him to the neighbour's field to run, I simply say no when he approached somewhere he shouldn't go. The dog hadn't done anything wrong, and my warning wasn't a rebuke. It was a caution for his own protection. And number 2, nudges. A spirit nudge can alert you to impending danger. A Holy Ghost flare to guard your heart. Once a friend of mine was driving towards a green light. He felt strongly prompted to hit his brakes. So he did, just as a lorry ran a red light. If it hadn't have been for his instant obedience, he would have been killed. And number 3, shushes. When we're in a conversation, God often warns us when we step close to a sinful topic, an unfair comment, or gossip. And when God shushes you, stop talking. Interesting. All right, okay. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, of course, for tuning in. And of course, we are coming up to the midnight hour. No, we're not. We're coming up towards the end of the program, actually, for our hour that we normally do here on the channel. So, yeah, I'm just going to go through some of the football results here. I'm going to, of course, wind down the music now. That's better now. We've turned it off for a second here. So we can give you some latest results at this moment of time. Score Centre. So what's the latest score so far? Right, okay. Full-time Bournemouth 0 and Newcastle United 0 in the Premiership on Sunday the 21st of September 2025. Sunderland 1, Aston Villa 1 full-time result in that game, and the final game between Arsenal and Man City at 4:30 is yet to be played. So yeah, that will be quite interesting. So here we go with yesterday's results. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. I watched that with a close eye, and I did a kind of sort of commentary on that one on TikTok. If you want to go over and see some of the commentary, I might download the highlights of that. Brighton 2, Tottenham 2 is full-time. Well, they're all full-time from yesterday. Liverpool was the 12:30 game earlier on in that day. And Brighton 2, Spurs 2, and Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 1 was full-time here. And West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 2, Wolverhampton 1, Leeds United 3, Manchester United 2, Chelsea 1 was the 5:30 game, and the 8 o'clock game, Fulham 3, Brentford 1, and they had a goal chalked off for, of course, a goal that didn't count for Fulham. Could have been 4-1. And in the Championship yesterday, Birmingham City 1 and Swansea City 0, Leicester City and Coventry was 0-0. Apparently, of course, it was 0-0 in that game. And Queen's Park Rangers 1, Stoke City 0. Blackburn Rovers was abandoned after a while, but of course Blackburn won the game. And Derby County 0, Preston North End 1, and Hull City 3, Southampton 1, Norwich City 2, and Wrexham 3. They only just about won Wrexham in the end. Norwich City got 2 in the end. And of course, Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2, and Sheffield United 0, Charlton Athletic 1. And in League One, Blackpool 1, Barnsley 0, and Bolton Wanderers 4, Wigan Athletic 1, and Lincoln City 3, Luton Town 1, Cardiff City 1, Bradford City 3, and of course Doncaster Rovers 1, AFC Wimbledon 2, and Huddersfield Town against Burton Albion was 0-0. Plymouth Argyle 0, Peterborough United 1, Port Vale 2, Mansfield Town 1, Reading 2, Leyton Orient 1, and Rotherham United 0, Stockport County 1, Stevenage 2, Exeter City 1, and Wycombe Wanderers 2, Northampton Town 0. And finally in League 2, Cambridge United was the earlier game, who finished 2-1 against Fleetwood Town. And of course, earlier at pretty much the same time, Harrogate Town 2, Shrewsbury Town 0. And Barnet 3, Grimsby Town 0, Barrow 1, Crewe Alexander 0, and Bromley 2, Chesterfield 2, was a full time. Cheltenham Town 0 and Oldham Athletic 3. Colchester United against Bristol Rovers was 1-1 in the end. Milton Dons 1, Acton Stanley 2, Newport County AFC 1, Gillingham 3, and Notts County 4, Crawley Town 0, Salford City 3, Swindon Town 2 in the end, and Walsall 4, Tranmere 2 in the end. And that's all the English League catch-ups on that note there. Thank you very much indeed, everyone, for watching, and we will close the show now. And hopefully we'll join you on the next episode, which will be episode number 19 now. We have done in total. Thank you very much for anyone that did stop by and watch. If you've been watching on replay, we appreciate that. Thumbs up to you. And we hope and we pray and we definitely pray from the GOD that our community protects you, and we promise that that community will carry on fighting for you. Take care till next time.